r/AskReddit by Daily Dose of Reddit. Bus drivers of Reddit, what is something you wish customers knew, or would do more? I wish they knew I have the power to kill them all. You could at least occasionally announce it. Hey, this is your bus driver here, just wanted to point out the ravine to your left. My dad isn't a commercial bus driver, but a school one. If them kids could just sit in front, like he asked, that'd be great. What's the reason they have to sit in the front? I've never heard of that. And take a school bus twice a day. My bus drivers used to ask problem kids to sit up front. Easier to keep an eye on them. They are not answering because their do not speak to the driver sign is up. Don't make me tap the sign again. But signal clearly when waiting at the stop that you want my bus. I can't read your mind. Or stop on a sixpence when you wave frantically at the last minute. If the bus stop says request stop, then you have to request the bus to stop. Have you passed/fare ready before boarding? Especially if the bus is stuck in the traffic waiting to serve the bus stop. You can see the bus is there, so don't wait until you're at the driver to root through your bag or do the pocket striptease. If you have young kids, please keep them seated. I don't mind crying, singing or loud kids, but kids running around the bus means that I will pull up at the next safe point and won't move until you either seat them or remove yourself and them from the bus. If you need extra time to get seated or for me to lower the bus, just ask. The extra 20 to 30 seconds it will take is nothing compared to the paperwork we have to fill out. If you have an accident on the bus, please don't crowd the doors. If there is room on the bus, it causes delays as people getting on and off have to push past you, and I will request you to take a seat if there is one. If you have a question for me, please ask when getting on, not when I'm driving. Also, don't expect me to be an oracle and getting pissed because I don't know where every side street or pub is. I used to be a bus driver years ago. I usually found other drivers far more annoying than passengers, but one thing I disliked was when a long line of people would get on and each ask where the bus was going. Like, there's a sign on the outside of the bus that tells you this, and B, you just heard 10 other people ask that question and get exactly the same answer. Edit, I think a lot of you are misunderstanding what I'm saying. There is a big difference, to me at least, between asking where does this bus go, which is very frustrating, and asking does this bus go to some specific place, which is fine. I don't ask where the bus is going. I ask if the bus stops on a specific stop on the route. Edit, I don't ask because I don't know the route. I always search the route online beforehand. I ask because different buses go to the same destination via different routes and I wanna make sure I get on the right bus. Maybe there should be a sign with that as well. As a bus rider, people need to stop playing their music. This goes for all transport though. I don't want to hear your music out loud. There's earphones/headphones for a reason. It really goes for all public places. So you're telling me you can afford a $100, at least, phone but can't afford some $125 earphones? Fuck you public music listeners. People don't think you're cool, they think you're trash. For real though, where do you get earphones for $125? The cheapest in my country is about $9. And those are some cheer app earphones, let me tell you. Not a bus driver, but customers should always have the payment method ready before boarding. So glad you can't use cash for buses in London anymore. That alone has saved me hours. Where do you go to buy the ticket, then? I'm in the US, and, in my town, to buy a bus pass or ticket so you can go cashless, you have to go to one of a few different transit centers or a grocery store. And to get to the centers or the grocery store, you probably need to take the bus. You use a contactless card. Whoa, slow down there whippersnapper, the US barely has chip and pin. My dad services buses for the CTA here in Chicago and the amount of nasty things he's had to clean up for people is insane. Things like condoms, rotten food, he's even found used needles once. Please remember that the bus is not your personal trash can. Someone has to clean that mess up. Aside from that, he loves his job though, and even got to do the holiday bus one year. Here he is dressed up as an elf for it. On the topic of keeping a clean bus, obligatory, I'm not a bus driver, but I've heard many bus drivers tell people, do not kick the snow off your boots when you get on. It's counterintuitive, because you're used to kicking the snow off your boots as get into a car or whatever. But with a bus, if everybody kicks off their snow right off the front, then it piles up and can't fully melt and turns into a slippery ice puddle right at the front of the bus, especially dangerous if the bus has steps right at the front. Better to keep the snow on your boots and just walk to your seat. The snow will melt as you're riding the bus. Real live bus driver here. Only been driving for 2 years though. As said already on here, we all wish passengers would have their form of payment ready, as it slows us down a hell of a lot when you don't. More importantly for me though is, don't give me death stares or even a smart-ass comment because the bus is late. I pride myself on being on time as much as possible and having good statistics on KPIs, so when I'm not on time it's because of shitty traffic, time-consuming interactions with people, or an impossible schedule. Honestly, I'd rather the bus was late than early. There's a special kind of frustration when you're walking down the connecting street to the bus stop and the bus zips by 2 to 3 minutes early because school is out, so less/no students riding the bus and practically no traffic. That feeling of seeing the bus flying by 30 seconds early, but the driver doesn't see you and keeps going, and the next bus isn't for an hour, especially after work when you just want to go home. It's because of this feeling that everyone drives cars. Before leaving the bus, please thank the bus drivers. Greet the bus driver when entering the bus. At least do the nod. Maybe a smile if you're nice. Words don't necessarily need to be exchanged. Again? Good night? Yeah, and I can't complain. One thing I would have liked people to know when I was driving was that once the doors are closed and we are pulling away, it's too dangerous to reopen the doors and let you on. We are not being dicks by driving off. Too many accidents happen when people ignore this, and it's the driver that gets the blame. At the bus terminals in my area there are signs stating the driver cannot stop to open the doors after they've left the platform. People still wave and try to flag down the bus. Not a driver, but a regular bus user who would like to post something on behalf of the drivers. If the bus is late due to traffic, this is not the driver's fault. So many people get on my bus and give the driver an earful when the bus is late. Do you really think that driver has control over the traffic build-up in the two cities that the bus travels between? Do you think that the driver has the ability to magically fly over the cars in order to get to your bus stop in time? The driver is enjoying this traffic even less than you are. They have no control over it. Give him/her a break. At least you have the option to get off and walk. I remember one guy going, these buses are always making me late. I just thought to myself, fucking leave earlier then, you twat. My girlfriend and I are both drivers in the UK. We've thought of a few. If there's perspex between you and the driver, speak up. It's much louder in the cab than you think. When you put your card on the machine to scan, please leave it alone. Do not move it around, side to side, swipe it, or remove it from the machine after 0.2 seconds. Please stop using buses to break big notes. Change is valuable to us. Using £20 to pay £2.30 makes us hate you, especially when we see piles of coins in your wallet. Following on from that, small change like 1p and 2p isn't change. It's worthless and heavy. Stop thinking you're doing us a favor by dumping your shit coins on us. Ring the damn bell. The number of times someone's just come and stood behind me without saying a word and expected me to see them and stop is ridiculous. We are concentrating on the road, not the saloon, Graham. Buses can't fly. We are late because of traffic and because of idiots doing all of the above. Bus rider here. If you're paying cash, especially with coins, you get to go on last. Let the people who swipe or tap get on first. Also, if you're getting on a bus, stand back and make sure nobody is getting off. Stand about 3 feet back from the door so that I have enough room to get off and go left or right. If you need the first stop after a turn, do it when the bus finishes the turn. There's a certain sweet spot to pulling the cord, that you want it to be far enough away that the driver can stop easily, but close enough that they don't forget. I wonder if it's a British thing, but whenever get the bus, we don't stand in line or form an orderly queue, rather just mill around or stand wherever. However, while doing that, we will have taken note of exactly who was there before we were. So when the bus arrives, a queue will spontaneously form with everyone in the exact order of arrival. As a bus rider, I wish people respected the implicit line when waiting for the bus. I'm always one to let the elderly, handicapped, or over-encumbered board first, but I always get a little annoyed when I'm standing here waiting for 15 minutes and Johnny Knothix over here runs up as the bus is arriving and takes the last available seat.